Have you ever wanted to write and publish your own book to hold it in your own hand? I'm Mila Johansson from Pen to Published, and I coach writing and publishing. In fact, I helped Steve, Irma, and Olivia put together their book, Heart Notes, as an example of what I do. And I'm so excited to be an official sponsor for the Sing Your Heart Song Summit in July. Right now, you're going to experience a speaker spotlight series. There are so many valuable speakers for you to get to know before they do their presentation. Don't just watch, join the conversation in chat.
The Sing Your Heart Song Speaker Spotlight featuring Terri Levine. Terri Levine is a heartrepreneur and the founder of the Six Figure Accelerator, where she helps coaches and consultants create 6- and 7-figure businesses. Terri has been named one of the top 10 coaching gurus in the world by the Global Gurus Organization and is also recognized as the top female coach in the world. For more information, please visit www.sixfigsinSixmonths.com. Mark your calendars. Terri will be speaking on day 1 of our summit under the theme of finding your heart song and working yourself happy. Welcome to Terri's No Excuse Zone. Find a way or make a way. Good morning, Steph. How are you today?
I'm awesome, Olivia.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you.
And happy Throwback Thursday because I am actually sitting here in a brand new location. It's not my usual spot. This is my high school in Worcester, Massachusetts. South High Community School is where I went to school.
Wow.
So now I have to say, this isn't the high school that I grew up in. This is a modern state-of-the-art facility, brand new, totally renovated. And I'm so thrilled just to walk these new hallways.
Wow. But it is the same school that you went to, just not the same.
Same school. And we are located on Apricot Hill. And so you'll appreciate this. I was the school editor of our Apricot Hill Literary magazine. So,
awesome.
So I love being on Apricot Hill. I love being in this environment. And it's just amazing, you know, to be back at home, be back in Worcester.
Fun.
Fun indeed. And we've already got some people. Oh my gosh. Okay. So welcome everyone. This is the Sing Your Heart Song Speaker Spotlight. We're continuing our second week streak. And we've already got some people chiming in today. Madeline Fayella. I hope I said that correctly. Hello, welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining in our conversation today. And Irma Gusen, our third musketeer. Yay, so she's joining in. Good morning, peeps. So Madeline, Irma, all of you are going to be in for such a special treat today. We're going to have a really heart-centered conversation. I've got my heart glasses ready. How about you, Steph?
Well, I don't have my heart glasses, but I do have my heart warmed up, so we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. We are so thrilled this morning to present to you Dr. Terri Levine, and she's going to come on, and we're going to get to sit down and talk to her a little bit about her amazing community of heartrepreneurs. Who out there is a heartrepreneur? Please drop those heart bombs into the chat. Raise your hand and drop me all those heart emojis, as many as you can, into the chat. show that you're a Heartrepreneur. And she's also going to tell you about her accelerator program, how to get 6 figures, 7 figures in 6 months. Oh my gosh, like that is a conversation I am dying to hear about. So here we go. We're going to bring Dr. Terri on. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Ready? 1, 2, 3, whoosh.
Magic. I like the whoosh. I'm glad to be here.
Happy whoosh. Welcome to you, Dr. Terri.
Thank you. And hello to Irma and to Madeline and to everybody else. Glad to be with you. And definitely for Olivia and Steph, really excited about the upcoming summit. So yeah.
I know. It's like literally like weeks away. So excited. It'll be here before we know it.
It will be.
For sure.
Dr. Terri, since I'm in my old high school, do you have any special high school memories that you want to reminisce about?
When you're talking about being your own high school, like I can't like even think about going back. It's so interesting. I met my husband, who didn't attend my high school, but I met him when I was 16, and we started dating when I was 17. And all I can remember is senior year when I was 17, I was the happiest person on the planet. I walked those hallways like magically flying. And we just celebrated our 43rd wedding anniversary. So high school was magical. Senior year.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I met my wife not at high school, but at university, and just spending time together. I don't know if you guys didn't go to the same school, right? But
we didn't go to the same high school, and we started at different colleges. However, I transferred to be in the same area with him. So he went to Carnegie Mellon, and I ended up at the University of Pittsburgh. We ended up close together. Wow, that just made music. It's so exciting. And thank you for the anniversary wishes.
that is so cool. Anniversaries are special, and tell us about your business and what that journey has been like.
Oh gosh, now we're really talking magic. So I started in my first business about 43 years ago, which, sometimes I'm like, how could that be 43 years? Like, what's going on? And I realized that I had figured out a formula how to create a 7-figure business. And I certainly didn't get taught that in college. So I created my first $1 million business right out of college. I sold that business. I started a second business, and that became a multi-million-dollar business that I sold. And then I can go on and on. So this is my 8th multi-million-dollar business. I've been in the coaching and consulting industry, transforming people's lives and businesses now for 31 years. I've had about 6,200 clients around the world. And this is my summary for you. Steph, I get to wake up every single day with people I love, doing what I love, passing forward the thing that I absolutely know, and help other people be successful. And it's just the greatest gift and joy. And I feel so blessed to have that opportunity.
That is so true. I mean, one, having my own struggles with a career and business and so forth. I know that not everybody wakes up excited to go to work and, to work, do the work, be with the people that they're working with, et cetera. It really is a gift. And, looking at the statistics, it's an incredible amount of people, very high percentage of people who are going to work every day who would rather be going somewhere else, and it's awesome to be in a part of an environment where you're helping people to do work that they love, because when you love what you do, you create better work, and it's just all around better.
Yeah, and my first book is kind of mentioned in the intro, was called Work Yourself Happy. And that came from me spending 5 years in a corporate job as president of the national healthcare company. I got paid a ton of money. They loved me. And every day I was miserable. And I did it for 5 years. It really felt like I was in a prison sentence. And one day I said, life is too short. Why am I doing something that I don't love? And it was all attached to money and ego. It was like, oh, I'm president of this company. And so I left and I started my coaching and consulting business. And I knew it was the right thing because I had 30 clients in 30 days, then a waiting list. And I honestly could say, like, I felt at home. Like, coaching and consulting was always what I was meant to do. And I do feel very blessed to be able to pass forward what I'm really good at, which is building 6 and 7 figure transformational businesses without ads and selling and marketing, and doing it through heart to heart connections. It's a method that actually works.
So that is surprising to hear you say that without sales.
Yeah, without sales. So let me give an example. I'm sure you all get this, and it's not just me. Every single day I wake up to pitches, right? My in-mail on LinkedIn, my messenger on Facebook, my email, it just blows up with direct messages and people pitching. And I don't have a relationship with them. So I block them. By being transparent, I block and delete them. I build relationships, and I use this thing that some of you may have. Does this look like something anybody has? Yeah, it's the thing that most people don't use, right? So most business owners nowadays, they're hiding behind social media. They're creating tons and tons and tons of content. They're spending money on ads. They're sending out emails. They're direct messaging. They're blah, blah, blah. I don't do any of that. I teach what's called reverse marketing, which is simply to share your value, your best stuff. I give away my best value, my best education, anything anybody wants, here it is. And then all I do is extend my hand and say, I'd like to get to know you better, build a relationship. And from those relationships, things happen. That's how we're all connected. That's how we got together. That's how I got blessed to be here on the Heart Song Summit, right? So it's through creating heart-to-heart connections and getting to know people. And just a quick example, I have a client family member. She's really new with me. She was doing all this other stuff, and it was like a lot of time and all these ads, and she wasn't at 6 figures. I had her call 5 people a day for 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, she has made over $47,000 when she didn't make that in a year last year. And she's loving it and transforming more people's lives. So just get up every day and ask, how many lives can I transform today? Not who could I pitch and market and sell to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wow, that is an amazing, and it seems so simple. So you had her call 5 people a day for 30 days.
Yeah, and she literally called them and had a conversation like this. So let's just say it was Madeline, since I recognize my friend Madeline's name, and I'm glad she's here. I would simply say, hey, Madeline, it's Terri Levine. I was wondering if you had a couple of minutes. I am so excited about my business, and I just wanted to tell you what I'm up to and see what you're up to. And then have a conversation. And during that conversation, be more interested than interesting, which means listen with your heart, listen with your ears, capture the emotion and feeling. And then if I could help Madeline, I would simply say, hey, Madeline, I'd be willing to do a 2-hour breakthrough conversation with you. 2 hours where I literally have nothing to pitch, nothing to sell. I will show up and we'll have the most transformational conversation of your life. I guarantee you'll remember it forever. So let me get my calendar and let's get a date. It's that simple. Now, what people need to learn is how to do, hi Joanne, how to do those deep dive breakthrough sessions, because in my experience, that's not what people do. They get on the phone, they're doing a demo, complimentary discovery call, and it's very obvious to me instantaneously. It's a sales pitch in disguise where they have an outcome of having me sign on. These deep dive breakthroughs that I teach at Six Figure Accelerator are not that at all. And you literally wake up every day, transform people's lives, and a number of them will say, how do I get to work with you? Some of them won't, and you still transform somebody's life instead of marketing. So that's my philosophy, and it really works. 6,100 clients will share that same information with you.
That's amazing. And I'm just so curious, like, who is meant to be a coach, right? So you're teaching coaches and consultants. So, like, do you have to come from a specific field or a specific background?
That's a really good question. So I used to own a coach training school, the Coaching Institute, many, many years ago, graduated thousands of coaches. And people would want to sign up, and I'd be like, wait a minute, I want to make sure that you have the natural skills to be a coach. Otherwise, it's not for you. So what are those skills? Those skills are really caring about people. Those skills are listening, and I mean deeply tuning in, which is something we teach. The skills are to absolutely not be afraid to say and do things with your client family members that may be a little ouchy, because you're not their friend. You're not just going to pat them on the shoulder. You're going to tell them lovingly when their baby is ugly, right? Your friends are going to go, oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. And you want to be a coach or a consultant who can say, you know what, that's not a great idea. And let me explain to you why. And let me help you formulate the way to do it correctly. So if you want to give advice, if you're a great listener, if you truly care about humanity and making a difference, all of those line you up to be a great coach or consultant. What most people are missing, though, since we're talking about this, is the how-to. How do I do this? And they hear all these conflicting messages from coaches, consultants, programs, and no one's willing to guarantee them results. I do. At the Six Figure Accelerator, it's 6 figures in 6 months, or I give you your money back. I absolutely believe as a coach, you should stand behind whatever you offer. So I help you come up with what transformation you're going to create for someone as a life coach, business coach, health and wellness coach, relationship coach, it doesn't matter. And then once you're able to identify what that is, then I show you how to get people to come to you every day, a conveyor belt of qualified prospects raising their hand and asking to work with you. That's what it's about.
I love the phrase conveyor belt of qualified content.
Right? That's a meme right there. Conveyor belt.
Yeah, conveyor belt of qualified. So this is literally where this comes from, since you like that stuff. I love Lucille Ball. Like, I love Lucille. You remember the episode in the Chocolate Factory? All right. So those of you who are old enough to know over this. So it's a conveyor belt, and the chocolates kept coming faster and faster. And I said, I wonder if I could have that happen in my business. And then I created that in all of my businesses. And what I find is missing in people who sell what I call the invisible, which isn't a widget, it's a service, is they don't know how to have a conveyor belt. And I like to do through reverse marketing, where I woke up today and I have 7 people contacting my team and saying, how do I find out more about the Six Figure Accelerator? Versus me going out and saying, hey, let me tell you all about my program. And that's the way it works. So that's the conveyor belt concept.
And what I'm hearing in there is that you're kind of, in a way, if I may, anti-push and totally pull, that it's attract and not, go out there and in a friendly, loving way.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that I don't like about the way most people are doing marketing. It's what I call in your face. It's like right on top of you. I was at someone's event and I was asked to attend the event to give them critique and feedback. And so I look like just a regular member of the audience. I cannot tell you how many people came up to me and try to hand a business card and shove it in, like, hey, if you need a virtual assistant, hey, if you need, and I'm like, I didn't ask for your card. I don't even know you. You have not touched my heart or connected with me. And one person didn't even make eye contact, which, how do you make a heart-to-heart connection? And so it was very interesting to me. And when I've attended networking events, online or offline, very often people are just in your face with their product, programs, and services. I don't even know if someone has a need for my help. So I don't extend my hand until we have a heart-to-heart relationship. And then I can say, hey, you know what? My Six Figure Accelerator would really help you. Would you like that information? Not, here it is. So just keep that in mind. You want to establish really heart-centered communication. And again, to me, that's through a phone or in person. It's not email, it's not messaging, and it's not posting all over social media and hoping that somehow that's magically going to do something for you, and or Yes, establish that heart-to-heart connection. Thank you for posting that, Olivia. And then the other thing that I want to say is you can't hide. So if you want to be a coach or consultant or anybody in the business of transformation, you have to be front and center. Don't worry about what do I look like, whatever. I showed up here as right after another Zoom. I didn't have time to take a break, have a cup of coffee, grab some water, fix my hair, put makeup on. My goal is you show up and you create value and you let your ego go. Your ego, as one of my friends says, is not your amigo. And if you're truly focused on just helping others, then you want to build relationships. So that's what I recommend.
That's excellent. Your ego is not your amigo.
Not your amigo. Irma, how do you stay heart-centered when people are in your face like that? All right. I am delighted that you just asked that. All right. So number one, you always stay heart-centered even when someone comes to you and is what I will call in your face. So what do I mean by that? So I'll give you an example. I'm going to use a true one that happened today. In my Facebook Messenger, this person said, I'd really like to get into your Facebook group. And then when I'm in the group, I'd like to be able to, and I'm quoting, promote my services to your group. And so I said, well, first of all, I haven't accepted you for the group. I don't know anything about who you are. Second of all, may I offer a loving piece of advice? And the person came back and said, sure. And I said, don't direct message people like this, right? So I'm very, as I said, I'm very, loving, and yet here I am to give advice. I said, I'm coming from a place of love, and I want you to understand that this is not the way to start a conversation. If you want to join my group, you could reach out to me and say, hey, Terri, I'd like to know a little bit about you and what you do and about your group and see if I'm a fit. So the person actually not only accepted the advice, they sent me a little video on Facebook telling me about themselves and what they do. And yeah, they're a great fit for the group. So when someone's in your face, I love the question, Irma, I stay in my lane, I stand my ground, and I educate and I teach and I help and I support. How do you, meaning the other person, create a heart-to-heart relationship? I use it as a teaching moment. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. And part of that for me is similar to going back to when you were the president of the National Health Company and, not really feeling comfortable in that position, even though the accolades were saying, you're doing a great job. You've got the great salary. You've got, all that goes with that. But I suspect that just like I was, and if I'm projecting, tell me, but you're in this position where you're not in your lane, where you're not being authentic to who you are, and you're not coming from your heart. You're coming more from your head and what you're able to provide. And instead, now you've flipped that around and you're coming from your heart, and the head still plays a role. I mean, the six figures is, numbers and so forth are more head oriented and less heart oriented, but you bring them together in a way that creates balance and harmony. Am I on track?
So you are on track, and I'm glad you brought this up. Let's talk about that. So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, regardless of what business you're in, the heart is where you make connections with the right audience, prospects, your client family members, and anybody else, collaboration partners, joint venture partners, people in the same space, people you want to get to know. And your head has to understand that when you own a business, you're not, I'm going to say something, it might be a little ouchy, you're not in the business of coaching, consulting, speaking, writing, publishing, whatever it is you do. You are in the business of marketing. I'll say it again. I am not in the business of consulting. I'm in the business of marketing my consulting. Not in your face, not in your face. So my head has to know in my business, how do I establish systems? How do I automate systems? How do I sit in the CEO chair? How do I not trade time for money? How do I set up that automated system of getting a conveyor belt of qualified prospects daily? How do I then serve them? And How do I design my business so it's around my life, where I have time freedom, where I can go on vacation and not have to work and money still rolls in and I make an impact and influence? How can I sit on a beach in Tahiti for a month if I want? How can I sell my business if I want, or pass it on to my family as a legacy? And that's all the head stuff. So that's what you need to learn from a business consultant, in my view, who can really teach you that, and not a coach who is more going to say to you, well, if you did know the answer, what would the answer be? Because you don't know the answer, and that's why you're hiring someone for help. So that's the head part, is learning the systems and the processes and how to implement them. I'm in my heart all the time. I work about 20 hours a month. My company does about 3 million a year consistently. We make a huge impact. We have so many testimonials. I sit in the CEO chair. I only do the things the CEO needs to do, my zone of brilliance. Everything else is on my team. And what I do most of all is what I love. And that's my heart song, is helping my client family members.
Mm. And I love the phrase you keep using, that you're
zone of brilliance. I love that. Right? Zone of
brilliance.
Referring to your community as a family, that it's, you know, it's not just these are the people who paid me money or whatever, but I really get the sense that for you it is family.
Yeah, I'll explain that too. And I think this is very, very important. So this is going back about, I guess, 8 years ago. I live in Mexico part of the year. So I was in my home in Mexico. It was a Sunday, and I thought of my aunt, who at that time was about 80. And she's my last aunt or uncle on the planet. So she's very special to me. So it was a Sunday afternoon, and I called her up, and we had this lovely chat. She's family. By the way, family is first priority in my life. And then a client of mine who's been with me almost 30 years, she popped into my head. And so I picked up my phone, remember the phone, and I called her. And she picked up the phone and went, oh my gosh, why are you calling me? It's a Sunday. Is everything okay? And I went, yeah. I said, you popped into my mind, just wanted to check on you, see what's going on. I also knew that your son wasn't feeling well, so what's happening? We had this great conversation. That day is when it hit me. My first priority is my blood family, and my second priority are my client family members. And most of my clients stay with me for decades, and some of them sign up for what I call lifetime, which is huge value, and they get every program product that I ever developed in my life's work. So I just focus on, I don't want to hunt for new people every day. That's not what I'm in the business of. I want to work with the same people. And then I want to embrace new client family members who I can help. So that's where that comes from. I'm glad you actually took note of that.
Absolutely. Not sure what happened with Olivia, but there have been some interesting tech challenges, especially as we're kind of moving around and going to different places and so forth. Anyway, really love what you're putting out there, Terri. And, you know, I'm wondering, kind of as we close things out, can you speak to the perhaps the patience that it took in order to get to where you are right now? Did it all happen like overnight? Because I mean, you definitely had some success early on, but you've been doing this a long time, since coaching was not something that was on everybody's tongue.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you created that perseverance and vision?
I'd be happy to. So when I first started, I went to coach training school, and I was taking a class, and I remember this really well. It was called Six Figure Coach. And the instructor was really cool. I really liked him. And so I said to him, he'd been coaching for 10 years. I said, when did you hit six figures? And he laughed, and he said, I don't make six figures. I've never come close. And I went, okay, something's wrong. He shouldn't be teaching this. So in any case, the assignment was go sign up a client every single day. So I did that. So we came back to the class a week later, and I signed up 7 people. And there were 15 other coaches, and there she is. And no one signed up anyone out, like none, zero. They came back with zero. And I went, I know what's different. Because I had already owned other businesses, I knew that the only way to sign on clients was through communication, person to person, heart to heart, or by phone. What everyone else was doing, and by the way, 31 or 32 years ago, 32 years ago, we didn't have all this technology. We didn't have social media. Most people didn't even have a website. We had, you've got mail, and that's pretty much it, right? And so that's what everyone else was doing, not me. So where the perseverance and persistence came from was not in my coaching and consulting business, because truly I don't have any horror stories to tell you there. It was 30 clients in 30 days. It was 500,000, right under 498,000 the first year, $1 million the second year, and then figuring out how to do that while working less and making a bigger impact for my clients with bigger guarantees. Where this came from, transparently, is my first business. I was right out of college, had my master's degree, was a speech language pathologist. I didn't know how to do anything. They didn't teach us sales, business operations, or marketing in college. I knew how to do speech pathology. So here I am. I rented space, clinic space, which is expensive. I had all my speech pathology equipment, expensive, and I had staff, and I'm sitting there, and I don't have any patients. I don't have any referrals. So I had to figure out, and it took almost 45 days, how to get my first 3 patients, which had to be referred by doctors. And by the way, I was a transplant from the East Coast to a very small town in the Midwest, and everybody was very cliquish. The doctors didn't want to talk to me. That took a lot of persistence. In fact, I sat in one of the doctor's offices for 6 hours waiting for him to meet with me. And he finally came out and went, "Young lady, I don't know what you want. Get in here." And I thought, oh, and I begged him. I said, just refer. Let me show you what I can do. And he referred 3 patients. And then after that, I went to other doctors and said, Dr. Lomax is referring. Oh, he is? So it took me being that persistent. And you showed my quote in the beginning, find a way or make a way. I am in no excuse zone. Don't tell me I can't because this didn't happen because I'm different than you. I don't have, find a way or make a way. No excuse.
I love it. So if you guys are watching this, I mean, that is your biggest takeaway from today, right? Find a way or make a way. I just want to turn to the chat because we've got some amazing entrepreneurs uniting here right on the chat. We've got Millie Etienne watching from Africa. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. Like your influence is worldwide. And who else is here? So Madeline is loving this conversation. She's saying awesome. She's really loving this conversation. She's wishing you also happy anniversary, Terri.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment, right? And I love that you make that distinguish between like your blood family and then your client family. Like that's been just really heartwarming to hear. And Joanna also agrees that relationships are the key. That is a big part of that heart-to-heart relationship, heart-to-heart connection. So nurturing those relationships goes a long way. Big shout out to Erica Warfield. She is showing up and showing out.
Yay.
Yay. Excellent. Thank you, Erica. And she also has been writing down all these little nuggets of wisdom.
Oh, that's awesome. How cool. That's awesome, Erica.
Yeah, thank you, Erica, for this. So the heart is where you make authentic relations. Your head is where you establish automated systems that impact and influence. Yes. So these are great nuggets of value. Thank you so much, Erica, for joining our conversation today. And this has been just so incredible I know you're so busy. So just to have this moment in time with you to capture these insights from you, Dr. Terri, and just capture this conversation. And I saw something pop up on my social media feed that you're doing a new book compilation.
Yes.
Can you tell us more a little bit about that? I'm so curious to hear about this project.
Thank you for asking. I had done a lot of book compilations like a couple, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I helped coaches and consultants get more leads through the books. I helped them get more speaking engagements. I helped them to get more clients and to be able to say I'm a best-selling author because we do guarantee Amazon bestseller. And I hadn't done it in years, in many, many years. And I was noticing how many of my clients didn't have that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to put another book together to really show off coaches and consultants and anybody truly in the business of transformation. You don't have to just be a coach or a consultant, anyone in the business of transformation. And I'm more than excited about this because it's going to be an anthology. It's called Making Waves, creating ripple effects that can change the world. So if you do something that's transformational, you can be an author in the book, you can get a lot of credibility, exposure, impact your target audience, and be able to say that you're a bestseller. So that's where we're at. I have only two places left. We just put this on social media and people are grabbing it because I also made the investment super, super low. I'm not looking to do this out of profit. I'm looking to do this to give back and pass forward because the world of coaching has been so good to me.
Oh my gosh, you heard it here first. There's only 2 spots left. So 2 spots. So I highly recommend get in touch with Dr. Terri today if you want to grab those remaining spots to be in this book compilation. And Steph and I have been in a book compilation along with Irma, and it's just been a really transformational experience just to be a part of that. Do you have a copy, Steph? Right there, it's on the bookshelf.
Oh, look at that. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I saw that in the beginning and I was like, oh, I don't have that yet. So I jotted it down. I'm going to be getting that. Looks fabulous. Thank you.
And so that was something that we did. We produced it coming from the summit. Right?
Wow,
because the summit are these one-time events and we just wanted to keep that momentum going. We also are looking to build community. And so that was a way for us to gather 29 amazing contributors, both presenters at a summit, both attendees of the summit, to bring together the heart notes, matters, writing letters to matters of the heart. And we compiled that and we self-published on Kindle. So that's just like a baby project that we did. Like we birthed it, Steph. I mean, we felt like parents.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, it's like birthing. It really is.
And sleepless nights. And
sleepless nights.
Yeah. I totally get it. I wrote 47 books. Like this is my last one.
Oh my gosh, we have so much to catch up on, Steph.
No kidding. Wow.
Last one, the conversion equation. And I'm focused on helping other authors. I just want to help other authors get their message out. I don't need to get my message out anymore. I think 47 has capped it. And there is, in my experience, there is nothing that propels your entire business faster. When I wrote my first book, Work Yourself Happy, I was completely unknown. I was new in the industry. I came out of corporate. And I was charging $5,000 to do keynotes, and I was getting like 3 keynotes booked. All of a sudden, I got a keynote with General Electric for $25,000. I got a keynote with a hospital for $25,000. I was on Good Morning America, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNBC, MSNBC, the BBC. I'd go on, all from being in one book. So literally that changed my life. If you know how, again, this is where you have to learn the systems. How do you actually take the fact that you're a best-selling author in a compilation book, and how do you use that? And in my experience, many people don't know that. So if you're in the business of transformation, 2 spots are left in Making Waves.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. And, just by you saying that just now, I really want to help other people get my message, get their messages out in the world. That just really shows your heart, literally your heart on your sleeve right there, Dr. Terri. That's incredible service. And incredible too, that you saw the need in your client family and wanted to provide that service. That is a mark of an entrepreneur and a coach.
Yeah, it's so important to me to put, and this is for everyone, to really, really breathe this in, to really focus on the other people and not on yourself. If you're concerned, like I had a client who didn't want to do a Facebook Live, and I'm like, that's because you're in your head. It's all about you. If you are focused on the other people, you don't care what you look like, what you sound like. You're just focused on helping. And it's the same thing when I've trained speakers and they come to me and they initially say, oh, I have so much fear of being on stage. I'm like, right, because you're in your head. All I do is look at the people out there and say, oh, I can transform your life. Let me help you. I am not focused on what anyone thinks of me. And in fact, I'm very honest about that. I really don't care. I'm living my life authentically, and I'm not here to please anyone other than me. And so if you live authentically, you don't have these fears about what will people think of you, because truly it doesn't matter. Just be the best human that you can be, and be that human because you choose to be. So I know we got a little off topic, yet this all ties into being a heartrepreneur.
Absolutely. And that's what the Sing Your Heart Song Summit is all about, is not just sharing your heart, which I think is essential and important, but also, sharing your heart in a way that connects and resonates with other hearts, that that we all in harmony together, so that we create this incredible harmony.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that harmony, heart song, right? I really mean that. It's like my husband is always saying to me, you walk around all the time happy, and I do. Like, no matter what's going on in the world. Why is that? Like, because I just focus on what is working. That's an important question. Of all my clients use this question: what is working? I'm not focused on gas prices and I can't control those things. There's no reason for me to complain about them. They're out of my hands. I just have to do the best that I can, living my life in my world. And so if you're focused on, I'm going to take care of me, I'm going to create a great life for me, I'm going to focus on what's working, I'm going to create a lot of time freedom. So life is very short. I don't know my checkout date. I know my birth date. I want to live fully in the moment. And then the second thing is, I want to transform, and I want to help as many people as possible. So if you wake up every day with that in your heart, that's the music. And then you just dance and you play and you sing. And my husband can tell you, even when I was a few months ago, I was very, very sick. And my husband said, you're in the hospital smiling and you're in all this pain. I don't understand. And I'm like, I'm not focused on the fact that I'm in the hospital or that I'm in pain. I am focused on the fact that you're here loving, supporting me, that I know I'm going to get better, that I have great doctors, and that I'm being helped. And that's what I focus on. So you are a choice. And again, going back to find a way or make a way, be a no excuse zone. There is no reason not to be happy when you can choose that in any moment. You consciously or unconsciously choose how you feel. So be more conscious. I choose peace, I choose love, and I choose to connect heart to heart.
What a great message to end this broadcast. Thank you so much, Dr. Terri. This is incredible.
Love you guys. I love what you're doing. I'm so excited about this summit and the whole concept of Heart Song. And I just feel very honored and very blessed to be able to connect and share. And I'm looking forward to the summit.
Likewise. And I love Irma. Irma, thank you so much here. So if we all lived being authentic, the world would truly be a better place for our leaders. And so Irma does a lot of work with youths and mentoring youths, right, and getting them ready as the next generation of leaders. So thank you, Irma.
Thank you.
So many, oh my gosh, so many writer downers today. I hope your hand is cramping because I know mine is. So as we close up this broadcast, thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in today. We appreciate it so much. Irma, Joanne, Madeline, Millie, Erica, thank you. And for all of those watching on replay, thank you so much. So continue the conversation. Do you have what it takes to be a coach? Find out with Dr. Terri. Get in touch with her. I'm going to bring up her connections here on the screen so you can find her on LinkedIn. This is her LinkedIn URL. And she posted about her book on LinkedIn. So if you want all the details, go to that post. There's only 2 spots left. And then here's her Facebook link as well here. So I invite you all. Don't wait until the summit in July to get to know our speakers. You will have this opportunity through the speaker spotlights to connect with them, make that heart-to-heart connection, establish that relationship well in advance so you can be primed and ready for the message they have to deliver in July. So I encourage you today, go and network right now and get to know other heartrepreneurs on this website, heartrepreneur.com. And then if you're curious about what it takes to have a coaching consulting business, check out 6wigsin6months.com.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Terri. Oh my God. It's been so
been my honor. I really appreciate this and the entire summit. So thank you.
You're so welcome. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Woo! All right. I have to go down to the cafeteria and grab some lunch. So I'll be live streaming in the next brand new state-of-the-art cafeteria. So stay tuned if you're following me around today.
Wow.
Awesome.
You'll have to give me a little tour of the school.
Absolutely. All right, Steph, we're going to close this out and I will talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye for now.